In this class I want to talk about innovation. Innovation is the application of creative thinking to improve a product or process. It uses new knowledge and skills to achieve values in new ways. Now, that is a fairly clear statement of what innovation is. It's using creative thinking to improve a product or process. It uses new knowledge, new skills to achieve values in different ways. So here we're talking about newness, we're talking about development, we're talking about perhaps developing new products or new businesses, we're talking about innovating the market in some way, we're talking about changing, introducing something new. Now, the forms of innovation. Generally speaking, innovation leads to new and better products or processes, and it may take several forms. For example, in the list I've got here, the first one, the substitution of a new material into the production process. Well, as new materials have become available because of scientific breakthrough, products have changed. Clothing has changed. Winter wear is different now to what it was in the past. Waterproof clothing is different today than it was in the past. And that's just clothing, but it runs across obviously electronics and home entertainment, and as new materials have become available, these have become more easily introduced and accepted. So it's number two, it's changing the way production and distribution takes place. That's what innovation does. It changes the production system. It moves companies, businesses, it moves them from a particular way of doing something to perhaps some new way of doing it. And many people will be familiar, for example, with the introduction of robotics in the car industry. That was an innovation. It was a change. It introduces a new piece of technology, a new way of doing it. Perhaps nowadays computer controlled, or the introduction of some sort of artificial intelligence, or some sort of new way of organizing production or distribution, or new way of management. It's new. And that is innovation. It improves the product design as well. Cars have changed shape immensely over the years, are now more aerodynamic and more efficient, and the designs that are with us today are the product of creative thinking, and they are all innovations on what was around before. They are changes for the better on what was there before. Now, I know we all like looking at vintage cars, but presumably the cars we've got today have more equipment, they're safer, they're more reliable, and so on. And that is the introduction of innovation. And there's also the innovation in terms of the possible range of uses for a product. So sometimes we get a product and we can use it for several purposes, whereas in the past it was a single use. It was bought for a specific purpose. Now we're able to switch uses. Also, for example, a computer. A computer originally computed numbers. Now it can do lots of things. It's still called a computer, it still computes, but it's a very powerful word processor and a presenter and database, and it can communicate, and it goes on and on and on. And it's replaced a lot of other pieces of kit, other pieces of equipment. For example, it's possible to play music, or watch videos, or make videos or edit sound, edit pictures, take pictures. So the possible range of uses has been extended, and that is an innovation. The factors that lead to successful innovation. Well, successful innovation depends on how the customer views the innovation. Simply making an innovation is not good enough. It has to be acceptable to the consumer. So the customer, the person who's going to consume this, is going to use it, the customer must see this as desirable. Otherwise, he or she will not buy it, and hence the innovation will be not acceptable. It will fail. It will not be widely used. Customers may judge the innovation through their market demand, which is likely to be based on its price and quality. But perhaps that's not selling the full picture. Not just the price and quality, but also its image. And as consumers, we like modernity. We like new things. We like new products. We like change. We like... It's a part of our psyche almost. We want new things. Not just the price, not just the quality, but the newness. But if the innovation doesn't meet our requirements, then the innovation, or the new product which is the result of the innovation, that product will not be successful, and it will not be widely introduced. To successfully innovate depends on entrepreneurship. It depends on the product design. It depends on the market price. It depends also on the skills and the ability of the management to make the product, make it to a good quality, make it so that its cost enables the business to sell it at a profit. And also, it fits with the reputation of the business, perhaps. If the business is long-standing and has a good reputation, the innovated product must also be of good quality and reflect the reputation of the business. And finally, there must be successful product placement and effective marketing. The marketing people within the business, or whoever are responsible for marketing, must position the product in the marketplace in a way that makes it acceptable to the consumer. It's acceptable in the sense that it's in the right area. It's in the right part of the spectrum of goods that the consumer will want, at the price they want it, with the aftercare service, with the design, with the quality, with the reputation, with the image, with all of the factors that the customer is looking for in good value. So the traits of entrepreneurs and innovators are linked. They significantly overlap. They may be one and the same person, in fact. Now, types of innovation. Well, development of a new or improved product, that's a type of innovation. Brand new product, something people hadn't thought about before, bringing it to market. The introduction of a new product process or a new way of marketing and distributing a product. Completely new market and production process, I should say, could be to redesign the production process in a way that introduces new labor-saving techniques and speeds up the production process and makes a better quality product, perhaps. It could develop a new market or extend an existing market. That would be an innovation. Introducing the product into a new market is an innovation. It's a sort of commercial innovation. It's widening the scope of the business. But the fact that the market did not have the product previously means it is a market innovation. It could be development of a new raw material and methods of production. Well, a new raw material These come from the scientific community and from research and development, but the best examples here I suppose I could think of would be in terms of aircraft production, where now aircraft seem to be more and more made from materials which are very strong and yet very light, to save on fuel and to enable the plane to carry more passengers and more payload. But new products which are and new ways of doing things may include the introduction of new materials. So redesigned aircraft to include new materials, new lighter materials. And an innovation could also be a redesign of the organization itself, reorganized so as to introduce more efficiency. Sometimes organizations become bureaucratic and sluggish and slow, and because of this the costs tend to rise and the administrative costs tend to rise. So perhaps a change in the organization would be seen as an innovation, cost reduction. Now, innovation and business growth. Well, innovation and business growth are also linked. New product development means there is a new product. That means growth. Now, if the new product is highly successful, it certainly means growth. If it's replacing an existing one, it still may mean growth, because there may be more opportunities to extend the market in the future. The product is more up to date and is likely to have a longer lifespan. The product life cycle is not critical. It's a new product. And providing it is acceptable, then that is linked to growth, to business growth. The product life cycle depends on the rate of innovation in the business. And indeed, in some businesses, the product life cycle may be quite short because there is rapid innovation in the business. Computing is an obvious example where, according to one view, the computing capacity has doubled every 18 months. This is called Moore's law in computing. So per pound or per dollar or per euro, there is approximately twice as much computing power every 18 months. Now, it's not an absolute law, as in the law of gravity. It's not that rigorous, but it's a suggestion that it's a very fast-moving industry, and that means that products that are made today will be out of date perhaps in a few years' time. Today they are state-of-the-art, but in 3 or 4 years they will be seen as obsolete. Innovation also impacts on global business. We have pockets of innovation for some reason. Different countries are noted for particular industries and particular ways of doing things. For example, Silicon Valley is very innovative in terms of computing. And so we get changes to the global economy. It filters out from Silicon Valley, it affects America, it affects Europe and Asia and so on, and all the way we deal with each other is affected, all because of innovation and the way it came out of a particular area. And of course, innovation changes competitiveness. A company which is not competitive, it's high cost perhaps at the moment, may innovate in the future and become low cost because they have found some new way of doing something, and hence become almost market leaders, or could indeed become full market leaders because they are cheaper, because they have managed to innovate the product. They have changed the product to become more efficient. It can also create employment opportunities because innovating companies want educated, dynamic workforce who can relate to change and who welcome change and who want to work in that demanding and changing environment. So people who perhaps would find it difficult to find work in more traditional industries because simply they would find it boring or depressing to be in those sort of industries, those people will now find work and will be welcomed into innovating sectors. So it can create employment opportunities. Innovative ideas that have market potential should be protected from unauthorized use. Simply speaking, an idea is worth money. An idea is commercial. It's where everything starts. All production processes start as an idea. The products themselves start as an idea. Someone has to design the product. Someone has to think about its dimensions, its color, its texture, its functionality, its aesthetic qualities. Someone has to think about how to deliver it and how to make it and whether it will be acceptable to the customer and what price to charge. But these are all ideas. And these ideas should be protected because they belong to somebody. And it would not be fair if somebody just had a great idea and everyone else copied it. That is theft. That is stealing. Unfortunately, it happens all the time. There are fake goods on the markets all the time, and probably the internet's full of fake goods. I don't know. There must be a lot of fake goods online. But the point I'm trying to make is that intellectual property is every bit as much property as tangible property, as physical property, and should be protected. And there are laws to protect it, despite the fact that there is widespread abuse of this. And in many parts of the world, it's possible to walk down many streets and buy fake watches or fake software or copied software, copied music, copied videos. It's stealing. It's stealing the efforts of the people who made the originals. One way of protecting intellectual property is through patents, or some people say patents. This involves the use of the legal system to acquire the exclusive right to make, use or sell an innovation. So if the idea is protected by a patent, then the owner of the patent may license the idea to someone to make. And it may license it in many countries for people to make. And they receive a return on the patent. They receive a return, a percentage perhaps of the price, as a reward for their good idea. So patents give a legal protection for a commercial idea. So it stops others from making and using and offering for sale, selling or importing the innovation. That's what it's attempting to do. It's attempting to reward the people with a good idea. If they're not rewarded, then people in the future will not bring their good ideas to the market. Why should they bring a good idea to the market and work hard on delivering that idea only to find that it's being copied as soon as it hits the market? And there are fakes destroying its reputation in the marketplace. It may also be possible to protect intellectual property by licensing. This is when a patent owner grants permission to use the innovation or patents. So they license out the idea. They've got a good idea, it's patented, and they can license it to someone else to make. They don't have to make it themselves. They don't have to set up the industry, set up the company. They just simply license it to someone else to make. And royalty fees are received in return for allowing people to produce it on their behalf. Copyrights are protection of intellectual property. Copyright gives the innovator the exclusive legal right and protection to the original work, and it stops it being copied. So there is a copyright to protect ideas as well. Okay, so that really is all I want to say in this session about intellectual property and also about innovation. There are some readings that you may fall across in your reading, in your researches. There are some PDFs, and there are also lots of notes online about innovation. And I'd ask that you stop the video from time to time, read over what's on the video, what's on the slides on the video, make your own notes and pad them out by researches from, say, online researches. But for the moment, that's all I need to do on this particular topic. So thank you for watching.